Two right lanes are blocked. State police are there, and one lane's getting by. That's the left lane getting by on the eastbound side of I-80. Avoid it by using US 6 or US 52. A Gapers delay westbound from US 30 to the Swains River Bridge. Further to the east in northwest Indiana, a pretty bit backup on 8094 westbound from I-65 to Indianapolis Boulevard. Crash cleanup there on the shoulder, but a lot to see on the eastbound side. That's why you're backed up from the Bishop Ford Freeway to Indianapolis Boulevard. On DuSable Lakeshore Drive, we're getting word of a crash southbound at Randolph in the two left lanes. Traffic starting to get very thick from North Avenue. You may want to use that exit there and use LaSalle to avoid the delay on the southbound side of the drive. Watch for a pothole. The Dan Ryan outbound in the express lanes at 31st in the right lane. Avoid the express. Stick with the local lanes. 45 out, you're 22 minutes in. A crash still slowing you down big time on 290 inbound past 355. It's in the right lane. Your next traffic report from the Metro Traffic Center, 438 News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
16 degrees at 429.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal due. That the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan.
What's up, everybody? SubX.News on the spot reporting. It's a few minutes before 4:30. This is the accident they were just talking about right here. You'll see. We're going to go check this one out.
The largest gathering of
They always have accidents here.
in the country. Meet the lodge owners. Enjoy new seminar speakers.
You'll see it right here. It's January 28th, 2029. It's going to be 4:30 in a few seconds.
January 29th to February 1st at the Kane County.
Again, there's an accident right here. There was an accident on Damon when I was coming into downtown, but this S-curve here always has accidents.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station, News Radio 105.9 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
4:30, good afternoon. I'm Lisa Fielding. Here are the top stories on News Radio WBBM.
Indiana's option play to get the Bears out of Chicago just took a big step closer to the end zone. I'm political editor Jeff Buckles with details on a key vote in Indianapolis.
This is Mike Krauser. Indiana Republicans advance watered-down legislation concerning the Ten Commandments in public schools.
If you get your water from the state's largest privately owned water company, your bill could soon be going up. Plus, Ecuador has filed a formal complaint with the U.S. government after ICE agents tried to enter the country's consulate in Minneapolis. Sports Bulls on the road to take on the Pacers tonight in business.
Very modest gains on Wall Street today, even as the Federal Reserve leaves interest rates unchanged. The Dow up 12, the Nasdaq up 40, the S&P just a fraction lower. I'm Tom Busby at Bloomberg.
Cloudy skies right now, 16 degrees at 431. The state of Indiana just took one big step forward in an attempt to quarterback sneak the Bears from the state of Illinois. WBBM political editor Jeff Buckles has the update.
Members of the Indiana Senate overwhelmingly approved a plan that would have the state build a new football stadium in northwest Indiana and rent it to the Bears. Just 2 senators voted against the bill, which now goes to the House. It calls for Indiana to set up a stadium authority, kind of like the one Illinois launched to build what's now Rate Field, that would do all the heavy lifting of building and setting up a stadium, which then would be leased to the Bears with an option to buy.
If I'm the governor of Indiana, I'm doing everything I can to get these guys.
Arlington Heights Mayor Jim Tenalia told Mully and Haw on our sister station The Score last week that he's taking Indiana's overtures seriously. The team has planned to build a stadium on the old Arlington Park property, but state lawmakers have balked at a measure which would let the team work with local school districts to set long-term property tax rates. The Bears released a statement that in part calls the vote a positive and significant step. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9. WBBM.
Indiana Republican lawmakers have advanced legislation about the Ten Commandments in public schools.
The watered-down version approved by the House Education Committee on a party line vote would allow the display of the Ten Commandments. It would not require the display, but would require that a copy be available in libraries as a historical document like the Declaration of Independence. Republican Representative Michelle Davis is behind the legislation.
So the Ten Commandments cannot be read by a principal or a teacher teacher when the students are present.
Timothy Huggins, a citizen, spoke in support.
Without the basis of the Ten Commandments, we would not have a Declaration of Independence.
Zachary Parrish with the Secular Education Association.
I find it interesting that we're here discussing the historical significance of a document that was dictated by a supernatural voice to a man who heard voices from burning bushes.
Parrish said the legislation is part of an agenda to further religious intrusion into public education. He said there will be lawsuits. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Well, added to all the bills that are going up lately, your water bill could be going up as well. It comes as the state's largest privately owned water company asking regulators for a rate hike.
Illinois American Water filed a rate hike with the Illinois Commerce Commission to raise water bills of average users by $14 a month and wastewater users by $28 a month. The company told the state the increase would help pay for $577 million in system improvements over the next 2 years. The Citizens Utility Board plans to challenge it, calling it a money grab, pointing to profits by Illinois American's parent company at more than $1 billion in 2024 and another $873 million last year through September. If approved, the new rates would take effect a year from now. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Around the nation, Ecuador's foreign ministry has now filed an official complaint after federal immigration agents tried to enter its consulate in Minneapolis.
Video shows a commotion as a consulate staffer barred what appeared to be an ICE agent trying to enter the facility. The staffer says, quote, "You cannot enter here. This is a consulate. This is a foreign government property." On the video, the man dressed in gear worn by ICE agents in Minneapolis says, quote, "Okay, relax, I didn't enter." The Department of Homeland Security says it has no record of ICE or Border Patrol agents being near the consulate. A spokesperson says, quote, "We are continuing to check with other federal agencies." Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
More details emerging in a syringe attack on a Minnesota representative.
A man is under arrest after Democratic U.S. Representative Ilhan Omar was sprayed with an unknown substance during a town hall in Minneapolis Tuesday. The spraying happened as Omar called for the abolishment of ICE.
And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
Police say the man sprayed Omar with a syringe. He was tackled to the ground, and Omar said she would continue with the town hall and would not be intimidated. Police identify the man as 55-year-old Anthony Kazmierzak. I'm Donna Warder.
People who knew Alex Preddy, the VA nurse killed by federal agents in Minneapolis over the weekend, are speaking out in support. Here's CBS's Jared Hill.
More patients are telling stories about Preddy's work as a nurse, trying to show the world who they say he really was, a compassionate caregiver.
He treated every vet like they were his only patient.
On Monday, Preddy's coworkers at the VA hospital held an honor walk in his memory, and the memorial where Preddy was killed continues to grow as Minnesotans pay their respects as well.
The 2 federal agents involved in the deadly shooting have been placed on administrative leave. And there are growing calls for the resignation of DHS Secretary Kristi Noem. Natalie Brand reports on what Democratic lawmakers are proposing.
There's an impeachment resolution that is being pushed by House Democrats. It now has more than 160 people, House Democrats, who have signed on. Keep in mind, they do not control the House, so this is not expected to really move forward. However, it is symbolic.
President Trump has given no indication that Noem's job is in jeopardy. Coming up in a minute, low gas prices, traffic, and weather together.
Consider it done with ABC. Our family's been available.
What's up, everybody? Yeah, Jason, that's wild that Indiana might get all of our teams. Look, it's business. I agree. And I agree with Ms. Zidor. Like, yeah, that seems staged. Wouldn't you go to the hospital, check yourself out, see what kind of chemicals are? Why didn't they say what kind of chemicals it is by now, right? It's weird. We don't know what's happening nowadays. Everybody does everything to do stuff. It's like these ICE raids. You know, the right, the regular right says that the ICE raids are a detraction from the Epstein files. Everybody says that now. It's more and more growing. Where's the Epstein files, right? Why are we dealing with the ICE? Here, let's get this straight. Because I've been attacked by MAGAs all week. I want illegals to be deported. I want ICE to get them. I want ICE to lock people up and deport them. I want ICE. I don't want ICE debanded. I don't want it defunded. I don't want any of that. But I don't want them shooting people in the back, especially Americans. Nah. When you say don't go out and don't go to a protest, you're anti-American. That's what me and Marietta talked about, right? Those are white supremacists. They're the ultra rights. They're the ultra lefts. They don't want us in the middle, regular people, to be part of the decision-making process. They hijack everything. And they yell a lot and they do a lot. Just like with this Bear Stadium. You know what Brandon said in the beginning? Oh, they can go. He said that about the chocolate factory too, Boomer. Oh, they can go. They're all anti. Why are they anti-business? They want to buy up grandmas and Mexicans and blacks and poor whites properties in Chicago that have been paid for, and they want to convert it and flip it into $2 million homes like we showed you 2 weeks ago on Thomas.
The expressways,
That's what they want.
We'll
hey, what's up? Hey, haven't seen you in a long time, Nicole. Everything good?
55. That is a crash and cleanup in the right lane. Again, past the Veterans.
I haven't seen you in a long time. Are you okay? I hope you weren't sick and your family's good. Happy New Year, by the way, Nicole.
40 minutes in for Manheim on the outbound.
Yeah, you know, I'm just keep going. I just want to make sure that we have the record straight. I want people to be deported. I want ICE to do their jobs. I don't want ICE to shoot people in the back. That don't make me a libtard. That don't make me a MAGA. That makes me SubX.News John Kugler guy, right? Normal. That makes me a normal person who thinks regularly, not flip-flopping between two sides. See, that's what they want. They want to manipulate us and use emotions. I got some stories we're going to talk about in the next few days. I've been talking with some other people that I work with to publish, okay? Let's listen to the news.
Swains River Bridge, a rollover crash there, a white sedan that ended up on its roof. 2 right lanes are blocked eastbound at the Swains River Bridge, leaving just the left lane open. You can use US 6 or US 52 instead. At Gapers Delay westbound, your backup starts at US 30, and delays on 8094 on both sides toward Indianapolis Boulevard. A crash getting cleaned up westbound on the shoulder. Your next traffic report from the Metro Traffic Center, 448 News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
WBBM AccuWeather forecast. We'll have a partly cloudy sky for tonight. Bone chilling again down to 2 above 0. Brisk and frigid tomorrow. Clouds and sun, the high 16. Very cold tomorrow night. Partly to mostly cloudy down to 5. And then see some lake effect snow Friday and the Saturday.
You got it, Mizidor. All those black people that lost their houses in the 2008 crash. You know, there was a lawsuit in Minneapolis that said that was illegal. You know, Chicago didn't do nothing. Imagine this. Now let's listen to the news and I'll talk about that.
There's a new call for Illinois lawmakers to ensure that state workers are protected from extreme cold and extreme heat on the job.
No one's body is expendable. No one's labor is disposable. And no one is worth less just because of the job that they do.
But employment and labor attorney Danya Mutabagil says that is the harsh reality for many Illinois workers.
As the law stands now, I see no real protections for workers against extreme heat and cold conditions. Nothing that I can do.
Marietta, you're famous. I quoted you in our interview yesterday. Did you see that? That was some good stuff you talked about. People should look at my article from yesterday. Marietta hit it out of the ballpark yesterday. She's a home run hitter.
Peters chairs the Senate Labor Committee.
Nobody should ever have to worry about getting frostbite on the job or getting heat exhaustion on the job. Workers are not something to be grounded up and disposed of. These are amazing people who have families, who live life, who live a vibrant life. And it is our job to protect them, to give them the safety and the dignity that they deserve. And so this is a vital piece of legislation.
In Pilsen, Andy Day, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Today marks 40 years since the explosion of the Space Shuttle Challenger, which killed 7 astronauts shortly after liftoff.
72 seconds after launch,
the vehicle has exploded.
CBS's Christopher Glenn.
Debris falling out of the sky, falling slowly, painfully, tragically slowly toward the Atlantic Ocean.
The investigation showed NASA was warned that booster seals could fail in cold weather, but pressed to launch anyway, having normalized and accepted it because the joints hadn't failed before. Normalization of trouble was also blamed for the Columbia accident 17 years later. Retired astronaut Bob Cabana says NASA has learned its lesson as it prepares to send astronauts to the moon.
We need an environment where folks feel free to speak up without
fear of retribution when things aren't right.
Peter King, CBS News at the Kennedy Space Center.
2026 election year is here.
That's what the guy just said. He just said it. The disaster, God rest the souls of the astronauts that passed away. I remember watching that on TV. That was wild. We don't have a right to say what we want. We get attacked by everybody nowadays. You just seen the attacks against me, right? I had close friends saying, oh, I'm disappointed in you. I didn't think you were that way. Like, what are you talking about? I can't say what I feel. I can't say my mind. I'm an immigrant. I believe in deportation. What are you talking about? I don't believe in shooting people in the back, but then I get attacked. I was just attacked on Instagram that I was called a Nazi on Instagram when my grandpa used to kill Nazis in World War II. Kind of wild, isn't it? Oh, by a CTU member, by the way. That works at Curie High School. Yeah, brother, I'm going to have you removed as a teacher. Yeah, you got the First Amendment right, but you ain't got a right to be doing the weird stuff like that, targeting people and calling us Nazis when we do our work. You don't got a right to do that. No, you don't.
On Advent founder Dr. Candle.
Just because I don't agree with your tactics, that you shouldn't be doing certain things, right? You shouldn't be activating people to go get shot in the back, and I shouldn't be shooting people in the gut. Both people are in trouble, I say.
258-7050.
All right, we got a special treat today. I got here on time, I believe. Yeah, you know, I'm tired of that stuff. It's what that guy said on the astronaut. He goes, yeah, we should be free to talk. Whatever happened to freedom of speech? Oh, yeah, you can tell me that I'm wrong, too. That's your freedom of speech. But you can't attack me and tell me I'm this and that. I mean, guess you can. That's freedom of speech. But you kind of get where I'm trying to get to. I don't want to limit anyone's freedom of speech. But you can't punish me because of my freedom. Wow. You guys ready for a beautiful sunset tonight? Oh, my gosh. All right, close your eyes. A surprise is coming. You know, the sun is moving again, right? It moves from the horizon, right? Everybody knows that, right? Yeah, it's horrible. You can't say what you want. You can't think what you want. I don't know about this 10 commandments in a school, I guess. But what happens if you're Muslim, man, right? Oh, we're not a Muslim country. Yeah, but we got Muslims here now. You can't ignore that. That's why you keep the religion out of the schools. Why? Because you can't pick and choose religions. That's our First Amendment right?
PERILLO.com. That's JOE.
That's the point of the First Amendment. Freedom of religion. Okay. How about this? Is this the one we're going to do here, Marietta? You like that view right there? How about that one? Let's watch that window so it's clear, huh? I got the sunset tonight. Maybe we'll do a little bit of meditation music, right? Yeah, timeshares, whatever, brother. This is some meditation music. Who's done any meditation today? And then we'll do the news again, and let's see when's the sunset. Is that beautiful or what? Let me check when the sunset is tonight. Oh man, that's in my eyeballs. I gotta start wearing sunglasses. It's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, what is this? That you can't say what you want? And I get it. You can say that you don't like me. I get that too, right? But, I mean, we're getting a little too extreme, I think. We need to pull it all into the middle. Chicago sunset. What time is the sunset tonight? 5:01. Oh man, we got 15 minutes. We're gonna listen to a lot of meditation. My phone is jumping all around. It's weird. 5:01 p.m. tonight is the sunset. It's beautiful, isn't it? Go out, get some. We got the sunshine. You know, that's the most best thing you can have in your life. Sunshine and fresh air. That's how they used to cure the old plagues and the tuberculosis. I'm gonna try to get you guys some meditation music here, right? Yeah, you know, we have politicians that say they can't keep the bears here, right? We got our own viewers like Marietta James that say, yeah, we're not dealing with that pick and choose. They're all corrupt. I love what Marietta said there. You should, you know, look at the quotes for what she said yesterday. It's very, very important. You know, she says it. It's corruption, and they want to cover it up, and they're all selfish. They're not looking out for our best interests. These politicians, you know what I mean? They're playing games. You know, Brandon Johnson's on the TV saying he's gonna file lawsuits against the federal government for doing their job. Like, yeah, why don't you keep us safe, my brother? You know what I mean? It's strange, right? They're not doing their jobs. It's weird. Do your jobs. Be the what do you call it? Be the mayor. Don't be you're not the president. You know what I mean? These guys try to do stuff that they're not, and that's the problem, right? But we gotta correct them, right? Let's do some meditation music. Let's relax a little bit today, right? Let's see, where is it? I gotta make sure I don't play the music that gets me copyrighted, right? Copyright-free meditation music. There we go. We're gonna punch that in. Royalty-free. 2 hours of royalty-free music for commercial use. There we go. How about we do that one? I don't know about. I might not have my right phone connected, is what it is, right? Oh, yeah. Connect the phone. There we go. So I got to connect the right phone. There we go. Let's see if this... Oh, man, look at that. Is that nice or what? I got here on time today. There we go. Enjoy it. We're going to relax a little bit. Yes. Misidor, no, he used the Confederate language. He goes, the federal government doesn't have a right to do things inside the states and cities. He used the exact language that the Confederates used in the Civil War. That's what they, imagine that. We had a war where the Confederate Ku Klux Klan racists said, you can't tell us to free the slaves. And now we have supposedly a black mayor. You know, he's supported by the white liberals from Evanston and Oak Park. That's how he got elected to his first commissioner seat. He won against Boykin because of white votes, not black votes. Look at his statistics. That's how he got into power. It's a placeholder place. You have to be careful for these elections. No one watched that election. I did. He gets in, and now he's using the same exact language that the Confederacy and the Ku Klux Klan and the white supremacists use to tell the feds, oh yeah, we're going to keep our slaves. Huh? What? He said it yesterday. We got the video up there. I got the whole video. I got the clip. I just put it up there. He said the federal government can't tell us what to do. We're going to go against them. Like, wow, that's bizarre, man. So what? You're the federal government now? What's up? What's up? We're doing a little meditation here. Ronnie. If you want to call in before the 5 o'clock news, come on and call in, Ronnie. Check in. What you doing? You got my number. Give me a call. Talk for a few minutes, right? Till the 5 o'clock news comes on. What's the temperature today, right? That's a beautiful sunset, ain't it? How you doing, Ronnie? We're doing a little meditation before the 5 o'clock news. You can screenshot my pictures. If you make $1 billion, buy me a nice coffee and a Happy Meal or something. Missy Dort. And we got a little music going with it. We gotta take care of each other. If we don't take care of each other, who is, right?